Meet Blaze with Itils, step Blaze and innovative device project, transparent team, awesome community.
Hello, crypto. What are you still doing here? Should have sold all your bags months ago, left, and never looked back. Or should you? Or should you? Probably not. But market sentiment, market out there, a lot of people are completely convinced that the top is in and we are in a bear market. Start prepping your bags for 2027.
Look, folks, this is huge. We start going to put tariffs, big tariffs on ETH. We're going to make people buy diamonds. Diamonds, the best, the classiest. It's all about the diamonds now, more valuable, more powerful. Everyone sits talking about it. We're making buying and crushing, buying and burning great again, folks. Really great. November 11th is coming. It's a whole new game, folks, a winning game, the biggest. Believe me.
Diamonds will be very scarce in the market. Blaze is already pretty scarce on the market. So we're hoping for fireworks between the two. Okay, so quick stream tonight. Jukes, we're supposed to have Jukes from Titanx Utils on tonight, going through some of the new features. He's put up 4 diamonds on the Titanx Utils site. The site Titanx Utils, a lot of great data for the Titanx ecosystem, a lot of calculators, simulators. Some of it is behind a paid wall. You do have to become a member, a paid member, to access some of the fancier tools on the site. But Rich has paid the guys to put all the diamond stuff up for free to everybody. So we'll take a quick look at it as we run through what I wanted to cover tonight. What we'll do is we'll have a quick look at where we're at. Some of the interesting stats between Blaze and diamonds, X28, all that kind of stuff. Anybody else comes up in the comments and wants to talk about anything else, I'm happy to go and look. And then we'll have a quick look at the Titanx Utils site. I don't want to talk through the simulators just yet because I haven't even played around with them yet. But we'll take a look, and I think Jukes wants to come back on Sunday and dig into all the fancy things you can do and what he has put up on the site so far. So look, market sentiment. Woo, bit crazy seeing Ethereum dip again. You know what? We have team meetings more or less every day, or team talks every day, and we're all in agreement that it's kind of hard to see or hard to believe. How many times we say it's hard to believe, but it just keeps getting worse. Alts keep getting wrecked. You know, Bitcoin is the only thing really. A few outliers here and there, but you know, when you look at the market, Bitcoin's the only thing that has, that's really got any traction out there at all. And the fact that the sentiment in Bitcoin is bad at the minute, just everybody's capitulating left, right, and center. Ethereum down 2,800, lost its 3,000 mark a couple of days ago, and has continued on down the dump yesterday and today again. Things aren't even really getting a chance to recover. I had one day of almost pumping, but all that said, go and look at the Titanx prices. Titanx ecosystem is holding up very, very well at this minute in time. I'm not saying it's unaffected by the latest downturn, but the percentages down within the Titanx ecosystem are a lot less than you're seeing across the board in other places. Even when ETH dumps, Titanx is not dumping any harder. So that is one positive thing to take out of what's going on out there. Again, there's positives everywhere. I mean, it depends on where you're putting yourself now in, what camp are you putting yourself in? Are you saying the market, this bull run is over and You know, we're back in the bear, or are you in the 5-year cycle camp and the liquidity is coming? I mean, it's there's a lot of people chatting sentiments both ways. Raul did a video last night. I haven't watched it yet, but seeing people share other clips of what he was saying, I think his stance still remains the same. The everything code is holding up. The liquidity is coming. And in the circles that I'm in, there's the video between Kyle Chase and Simon Dixon doing the rounds. Funny, Slim, I hope you pop in. Slim did mention Simon Dixon in the comments a couple of days ago. I'd never really watched the guy, not in a long time. And that interview, a 2-hour interview with Kyle Chase, was very interesting indeed. So there's no doubt about it. It's clear out there that they just even looking at the charts and the way everything's going in the big boys, Ethereum, Bitcoin, that the manipulation is absolutely it actually just seems more apparent and clear and obvious than ever. Everybody that's trading, everybody that's chopping and changing their minds is getting absolutely annihilated, you know, absolutely annihilated. So yeah, on this show, you know, founders within the Titanx ecosystem, we are diamond handlers. We're here for the long haul. You know, ups and downs in price don't really mean too much to us on a daily basis. Theses might change as we, you know, if something does happen and appears, you know, in another few months that we are into the top is in and we're in a bear market, God knows what would happen. But, you know, we're just here going to keep grinding, going to keep working and, you know, keep trying to stack your bags. It is difficult. I'll say this. I have not been stacking some pulse chain coins for a while. Yeah, I haven't been stacking them for a while. It was DCN and a few things there a couple of months back, still nibbling, taking advantage of some, you know, some dips. But even all those dips, I've had another dip. So all that said, we're hodling all Titanx coins. I'm hodling all the pulse chain coins and just going to wait it out and see what happens and see where it goes. And within the Titanx ecosystem, we're going to continue to build hard and work hard for our bags and our ecosystem. So on that, let's first look at this. We're taking the credit for this. We are absolutely 100% taking all the credit for this. Window, where did it go? X28. Okay, so Jake's last launch before he disappeared, vanished, whatever it is, or took a break, walked into the sauna, tripped, and couldn't get back out. But X28, whenever it launched, plenty of hype around it, but there it was. First few months, you know, keeping its peg for the first few months after launch. In fact, look at that. It's just over a year old, just over a year. And into the new year, start of February, once it lost peg, geez, it crippled. It crippled over a period of, you know, Jake was away, Titanx coins going down. People, you know, give up on X28, thinking it was completely and utterly useless. Some builders in the ecosystem continued to build omni-chain versions of their tokens, send them over the base, pair with X28, on and on and on. But anyway, look, it bled. There wasn't too much faith in it. I mean, in the bit of a pump throughout the earlier part of the year. But look, the diamonds, one of the biggest goals of diamonds has been, the decision was made to pair with X28. We believe in the longer term vision of X28, what's going to happen with X28, especially on base and other chains, when finally retail comes. You know, we dug a bit deep into what's coming on base. I think it was on the last stream on Tuesday night, the weekly Blaze, and dug a bit deeper into, you know, what we think is coming with the base app and being able to buy all these coins on base, and Titanx being omni-chain, being one of the most important factors of our ecosystem. If it's going to grow, yes, it can grow easily on Ethereum, but if we've got our tentacles out everywhere and we have X28 as the omni-chain thing that can go everywhere freely and easily, that's the kind of good spot that we want to be in. So one of the main goals of us pairing with X28 and launching the Diamonds protocol was to help get this thing back to a peg with Titanx, because once it goes over peg, once it's at a 1-to-1 value, at that point that it is worth swapping your Titanx for X28. In the process, you get your omni-chain X28, and it burns half of the Titanx that was used to mint gets burned. So it's going to start taking Titanx out of supply again. There's not a lot of burn on Titanx at the minute. So, and then obviously, what you've got to have use cases, utilities, and things to do with the X28 as well. And diamonds is part of that, and things that we have coming in the future. And the things Rich is building is going to continue to add. Even Trader Lee has started talking now about he's going to. I think things that they may be launching in the future will pair with X28. And I think when we look at the builders that are here now, that are still here, still building, still see a future, are starting to come around to the vision of X28, pairing up with X28, continually adding more and more utility and use cases for X28. So the vision that seemed pointless 6 months ago is slowly creeping into a potentially strong reality. So it has run up a fair bit. What have we run up? Almost. Well, it's almost done a double off the bottom. The reason I have this here, and I put this out in the post today, start of October. This is really when we started talking and posting about diamonds. We were building for a long, Rich was building for a long time before that. But when the decision was made to launch the NFTs on the 22nd of October, it just happens to coincide pretty much with the first run up. We started streaming about all our plans at the beginning of October. We went hard at it, marketing, streaming, posting, creating content, and I don't think there's any surprise that this run up has been exactly from when we began talking about our plans. This little bit of a dip was potentially after this run up phase into the launch of the NFTs, and then this next run up here from here has basically been since the protocol launched. So since Diamonds launched just over a week ago, we have been using all the ETH that came into the system to buy Titanx, and then use the Titanx to buy X28. So this is, we look at the Titanx ratio, we're up 93, almost up to 94% on the ratio. So not far to go. And the way our protocol is built as well, as soon as we get to 98%, as soon as we get to that 0.98 of a Titanx, at that point, we will begin to not buy X28 off the market anymore, but we will begin to start to transform. So our goal is to get as much X28 into the Diamonds protocol as possible to add into the LP, and to also use to buy and burn the Diamonds token. And like I say, we're not far off. When we get to this number to 94 or 98, when we get to 98, instead of buying X28, it'll convert the Titanx to X28. So then we're going to have, finally, in the Diamonds protocol, we're going to have a Titanx burn count as well. So we'll be able to put ourselves in amongst the leaderboards for protocols that are burning Titanx. Another really interesting thing what we've got going on already. We've been saying this many times. Diamonds is kind of built for a longer term. There are so many little things, built into this thing to get Blaze supply off the market, to make Blaze scarce as possible, to make diamonds as scarce as possible, to have many ways of buying and burning diamonds, to getting this X28 ratio up, that it takes a little bit of time for all the cogs to start working. Once we get the peg, that's one goal done. Yes, it may come back down, but the protocol will continue to be able to hopefully keep pulling that back up, especially if it gets support and more participation from the community. So that's kind of one goal. The next goal that we kind of have then is to try to get everybody that participates in Diamonds sucks Blaze into the Diamonds protocol. The beauty about Diamonds, the Diamonds protocol, is that when the Blaze goes in, the Blaze blazes. It gets staked in the Blaze protocol for 2,888 days. So every little bit of Blaze that comes in effectively disappears off the market. And the second goal of Diamonds then is to reduce the liquid supply of Blaze as much as possible. Once we reduce the liquid supply as much as possible, then that starts to have a knock-on effect that will get people that, if they want to participate in Diamonds, have to then go into the daily auctions to acquire the Blaze there. And the purpose of that then is that really starts to fill up all the reward pools for both protocols. So X28, already we're only a week in, and this is the holders chart of X28. So we've got over 1,100 holders of X28, and the Diamonds protocol. This is the two Diamonds protocol wallets. The two buy. This one is the buy and burn. It's actually gone up nearly 8 billion today. We've actually acquired another 8 billion Titanx off the market today. Another 8 billion Titanx or X28 off the market since I put these two positions out on Twitter this morning. So this one's the buy and burn, and this one's the buy and add. So we've got 223 billion Titan or X28 ready to buy and add to the liquidity pool. So it's just interesting to see that only just over a week in, we have we're already right up there among the top holders of X28. And like I say, we're only getting started. So, okay, I'm going to have a quick look before I go on and look at the next couple of things. Let's have a look at the comments. Bullish on Blaze. Cheers for tuning in. Weaponhead. Trees, good to see you back again. I haven't seen you in the comments section for a week or two. We're in extreme fear right now, up only from here, LOL. Yeah, I know how many times it was said that, but this extreme fear out there is unbelievable. RC 2022, the only people that made money on the ecosystem were the builders and the influence. Your greed for so much projects sucked us, the community, dry. Yeah, well, I am a community member as much as a builder. I started off a community member, and my choice was to help my protocols that I was involved in. It's been a bumpy ride, and I can tell you that never any intentions of most of the builders that I know, and I speak to most of them, is to bleed the community dry. There are certainly plenty of leeches out there, but I think most of the leeches have left with the profits that they got. So the guy you're looking at here on the screen, me, has done everything to help your bags. So yeah, thanks very much for your support, you motherfucking scumbag. Anyway. No, that's not fair. It just does irritate me sometimes when you see comments like this. I'm out here working for my bags. Where do you think I'd rather be on a Thursday night, sitting on my sofa watching a bit of TV with a glass of wine? No, yes, probably that's what we're like to be right now. But I'm not. I'm here. I'm grinding. I'm building out, helping to build out parts of this ecosystem so that whenever there is a little bit of a turnaround in the market, we have and are in the best fucking ecosystem, in the best place and best position possible. So I'll just pat myself on the back for doing the work while you come into the comments and attack me. So thanks very much. Anyway, moving on. I put a lot of this information out on X today. Put a lot of this information out on X today. So the Blaze and Diamonds work hand in hand together. So if the auction opens up every day with about, it actually starts off until if nobody comes in, it starts off at about 1700% ROI. As more people come in, this figure goes down. Now, the best possible scenario at this minute in time for the protocols to really get going is this number to close as close to zero as possible. That means that there's not really a big arb opportunity for people to come into the auction and take all the new coins that are coming onto the market and sell them for a profit. If somebody's in here today and getting 10% and they do want to sell, that's great, no problem at all. Nice little 1 day return for somebody, puts a few $100 in, gets a 10% return, lovely. But it does reduce the selling on the market. And what it shows us most days is that a lot of this that comes into the auction, if it doesn't get sold onto the market, then the likelihood is at some stage it could go into the Diamonds protocol. And when it goes into the Diamonds protocol, what happens? It disappears. So this ROI comes close to zero as possible. And the market price of Blaze not dumping. Let's have a look at what's happened on the Blaze chart. The Blaze chart not dumping is a great scenario. So it's saying here we're down 4% on the daily. Tiny little green candle there at the minute. Well, will it end up red? Will it end up green? Who knows? Who knows? I'd say probably part of that pump, that pull down, is the rest of the market pulling it down a little bit too. But the auction to close out to zero and the candles on the daily market buys to stay green shows. Now this changes day to day, but if we could get those two every single day, that would be really, really great for these two protocols and the people that are participating in them. Woo! Gotta love Ali's drive. Yep. Just can't give up, man. Just can't give up. That's all it is. If we'd have all made it, maybe I wouldn't be standing here, but I'm not getting shook out, and I will just keep grinding until I had goals when I come into crypto, and I haven't achieved them yet. So I'll keep going till I do. This is actually an important thing, because we were talking about this today, and you know, ups and downs. No doubt, it's been tough. Many people that came into the markets, the crypto market, at the same time as me, 2021. We've all had a really, really tough time. But it's like, you know, what do you, after all this time, have you spent your time learning? Maybe you've lost money. Fine, it is what it is. Rule number one: don't put in when you can't afford to lose. I had to stop putting money in quite some time ago, because it was getting to the point where, fuck, if you were to lose, if I were to keep putting more money in and lose more, then it's, you know, then I'm putting in more than I can afford to lose. But it's like, what do you do at this minute in time? If you've been here, you've been grinding, you've been working, and you've learned so much, you've experienced so much, to sell now and walk away seems crazy. You know, you could be in a position now where if it takes another year, whenever the market does start to turn, you'll be able to use your experience, your knowledge, the effort that you've put in to hopefully make a much better success of things in the future. And that's why we're here grinding, working. Let's see. So quick look into diamonds, the stats. Look into diamond stats. What have we got? 1,100 crushed. 50% of the supply that people have claimed so far have been crushed. The diamond supply is not a thing at this minute in time that is very important. Looking at the June dashboards of what's coming out in the future might be a better play. Not a better play, a better stats to look at. That takes ages to load up. We'll go back to that in a minute. But the Blaze supply. So we're approaching. This has been hovering. Well, it's been hovering over the last few days, almost hitting 80% of the Blaze supply staked, and then just dipping down a wee bit, but a little bit of a pullback up today to 79.81% staked. And this is the number that we've said this a few times. We want to get this up to 90%, and it's not going to be difficult. We took it from 70 to 79 in a week, All we need is another couple of waves of miners in the protocol, just a couple, a couple of, 10, 15, 20K weeks of miners getting started. And I understand that may seem like not a lot of money, but at this minute in time, it is quite a lot going into some of these protocols. But another couple of waves of miners will literally take us up to 90% and get us closer to that position where there is very, very little blaze floating about out there. I know, look, when you look at the holders list of Blaze, I did have it up. You look at the list of holders of Blaze. We've got one massive holder with 81K, and then it kind of drops off a cliff. 85K is about 2% of the supply, and then from there it really does drop off a cliff. Of the amount of people holding, even close to 1%. So when you get out of the first page, it's like way down, a couple of thousand Blaze. Anybody could do that just by, anybody could just DCN into the market buys or the auction could pick up, a couple of thousand Blaze quite easily. So apart from these, and again, I don't know exactly who all these wallets are, but I do think we had a few people who were really trying to play and game the system at the start there. And I think most of them seem to have sold their bags in the last dip, and most of these even bigger holders seem to be fairly strong players or people who are fairly strong-handed in building these little bags of tokens. So again, when you look at the holders list, the holders lists, and this is looking ripe for the taking. Unfortunately, every time we keep saying once we get a little bit of a turnaround in the market, it'll be great. But unfortunately, fucking ETH keeps dumping. ETH keeps dumping on us. But it's coming. It's coming. Let's see. Stats. I'll click on to. Let's just have a quick look at this. Number's creeping up too. If we look at the Blaze staked by we look at the Blaze stake by the Diamonds Protocol, 188,000 Blaze. That we started off week one, obviously at zero. You can't see that. Started off at zero at the beginning. After the first day, I think we'd run up to first day. Would run up to 9%, 8% of the diamonds of the share in the Blaze staking pool. And we're up to 12.17%. So this number, every time somebody comes in and stakes or puts a miner on the Diamonds Protocol, this number just creeps up really, really slowly, So again, just a couple of waves of miners will really start to ramp up this number in here and continue to take Blaze off the market. So 188,000 Blaze have been taken off. 188,000. Just have a quick look back at what 188,000. So there's a total of, there's 600. There's 600K. So we took a quarter of the market supply off already. A quarter of the market supply gone into this protocol already. We'll just take a quick nosy at the buy and burn. So the buy and burn has 42K of ETH sitting waiting to buy Titanx. I'll scroll in a little bit. 42K of ETH. This was turned down. So it's only, I think it's turned down to only buy once a day at the minute. So we're just letting this 42K build up again a little bit. But we have 3,600 dollars worth of Titanx to continue to buy X28. And we then have, this is one of the wallets, it's got the 234 billion X28 sitting in it. And that's just waiting for the future to, when the ROI on the project comes down a little bit lower or a good bit lower, it's set to only kick in. This is still at a 1000% ROI. These ban burns will kick in when this comes all the way down to 100%. And depending on what's happening in the market, that can be turned up or turned down. So that's where the X28 is. The add to LP is the other pool. So it's got another 2 grand of ETH sitting and has already used up. Oh, where's the Titanx box gone? Where did the Titanx box go? There. So it's actually used all its X28. So this is switched off. This is just switched back on. And in a couple of hours' time, ETH's gonna buy $174 worth of Titanx. It'll be over here for 1 hour, and then this is run out at the minute. This is sitting at 0. But the Titanx then, this is set to buy the X28 every hour. And again, then that's just sitting on 223 billion Titanx. Let's see. So that's everything I wanted to cover on Blaze and Diamonds at the minute. Just a quick update. X28 going well. The X28 buy is going well. We've got really nice share of the X28 supply, getting very, very close to parity. The Blaze auction has closed down enough for me to be happy the last 2 days. It has done every day since launch. There was just one day where there was about 25% left on the table. So if you are participating in these protocols, or you're thinking about participating, always check the auction first. If you can go in the auction first and acquire your Blaze there, and then put it into the miners and your diamond miners, that's the best way. Best thing to do is to check that first. If the ROI is gone, feel free then to market buy, because obviously market buying pushes the price up, puts a little bit more ROI back into the auction, and kind of makes a little self-balancing system there. The only thing not going great at this minute in time is miners. I'd like to see more miners coming in, but I totally understand. 1, people are fleeced, and 2, people are sleeping on what we're building here. Again, we'll bring this comment up. I have supported all your projects, and what pissed me off was builders promoting a project, then Jake launching on top of another project and killing the projects. Yeah, I mean, look, there's been a lot of shit built. There's been a lot of things that have not done what they intended. You know, when we look, even I'll hold my hands up and say, when the Blaze team launched Inferno, it didn't really work out the way we wanted. For MEV bots aside, because that was an absolute fucking nightmare. But that aside, you know, the Inferno built its liquidity pool with Blaze, and the idea then was that Inferno would pull Blaze up with it, and it didn't really, you know, the idea was right, but and it was executed, but it didn't really do exactly what we were hoping, you know. So look, I do get that comment, but for me, and this is what I mean when I'm talking about, you know, I can see people sitting on the sidelines, maybe just looking at our protocol and going, oh yeah, it's just another build on Titanx. There's another mining protocol, yada yada, whatever. But we're, you know, again, we're trying to do something different here. And the thing is, I'm saying the one thing that's not really working great at the minute is the amount of miners coming in. But again, the team, we have expected this. We would hope that there's more. But the thing is, this protocol has got this, in my opinion, and I could be completely wrong, but it's got legs. There's legs here. The buy and burn's building up. It's filling up. There's goals in mind here, and there's future. There's things that will kick in as more people participate, as the market turns. You know, there's not a lot of people in this project. There's not a lot of people in here. And if, you know, we've been positioning ourselves into X28 because, and not ETH, we've been getting out of the ETH we tried to get. That's why we could have turned all these ban burns down, but we cranked them up and had them aggressive to get as much ETH into Titanx as possible. And we accomplished that with the full amount of the buy and add. So the buy and add hasn't been affected by the ETH dip this last few days. It's sitting in X28. X28's going up in value against Titanx, and Titanx isn't dropping against ETH in value. That may change, but you know, with the amount of people in this protocol, if our buy and burn balances, if ETH goes up, if Titanx goes up, it puts a hell of a lot more firepower behind a protocol with very, very few people in it. So again, like I say, I would totally understand if people are sitting on the sidelines that you know, think we've just fired on another build on Titanx project, and another thing to try and suck the community dry, or whatever the arguments or things may be. But it's generally not what we've done here, and really not what we're trying to do. And I think what we've got so far is working beautifully. Really is working beautifully for doing what it's set out to do. Just needs more miners, and it doesn't even, again, at this stage, it doesn't even take, you know, I think we pulled in something like 60k in the first week, 60k. If we were to get another 50k over the space of about 2 weeks, that would, you know, that's going to end up with you know, half of the Blaze off the market. A lot of the Blaze, you know, it's fucking insane. So, and once market sentiment turns around, it's going to get very, very different in both these protocols. So, you know, support the real builders. support the real builders. Mine diamonds. Fuck everything else. I know a couple more comments here. I don't know which website it is you want to look at. The Diamonds website is diamonds1111.win. That's the one we're looking at here. The glory days of Blaze. We were talking about this today. In fact, okay, I got a message from another builder in the ecosystem, a guy who I think is a great fella that has great intentions for the things that he's involved in. He's not on our team, but he actually messaged today and said that it's funny, you know, he thinks that us pulling the peg of pulling X28 out of the gutter. I remember other builders and people in the community saying X28 is dead. Do not touch it. Do not touch it. Public posts about not touching X28 and people saying that it's dog shit and this and that. And, you know, people saying that we had to make a decision, you know, do we continue to go where we're going? And I've explained part of our vision here with it. And anyway, this person messaged me today saying, you know, I think you're really on to something here with the X28 coming back to peg. It could be the start of something that needs to happen and lead to much bigger and better things. And isn't it ironic that whenever Blaze launched, it was kind of a big revival in the Titanx ecosystem? So, you know, I'm not saying we turned everything around or back in the early days at all, but there was a lot of expectation on the Blaze project coming. It was after all the hype had all the launch hype had done. It was after loads of people made their profit, run off. It was at a time when things were looking pretty grim. A few decisions had been made in the ecosystem that pissed a lot of people off. But we were out streaming, having fun, building Blaze, and you know, this is a reality. Blaze launched, and about a month later, Inferno launched, and Inferno launching was one of the catalysts that started off the 3-month run of euphoria in the Titanx ecosystem last year. So yes, the glory days of Blaze was the glory days, was a part of Titanx history, and certainly they were glory days and led to much bigger and better things. And I hope the Blaze team has changed, but we've knuckled down, we've built for the community, we've built for the future of the ecosystem, and hopefully we get X28 back to peg, we start burning, we climb the leaderboards, and other people will start to catch on, supporting us in the ecosystem, in my opinion, is a good way to go. I think, yes, we've not been perfect, but I think everybody in our team has, you know, everybody in the team now, me, Rich, not saying anybody had ill intentions before, but I know for a fact that me, Rich, and Blaze, me, Rich, and Utah are really trying to do what we can to build out, and it's a fucking tough job. It's a fucking tough job. Yeah, the glory days of Blaze, and then just they would love to see the community of Unity once again. Guess the sentiments there, not there. Yeah, there's not too much fighting. There really isn't too much fighting in the Titanx ecosystem, and the reality of it is that And let me remove this. The reality of that is that, we're not dipping too hard. Most of the sellers, most of the profit takers, the leeches have, sold and left. A lot of people, are still here, are just here for the long term. They're gonna stick it out. So sentiment isn't great, but it's not bad either. It's not too much fun. Not too much fun to be had.
Down in the crypto holler, there's a gem called Diamond Bright. 4 ways to join the fun, each one standing on its own right. Pick 1, 2, 3, or all, no strings to tie 'em tight. Check the white paper for details, it'll set you straight tonight. Oh, diamonds, shiny diamonds, independent as can be. Mix 'em up or pick your favorite, works for you and me. Diamonds, shiny diamonds, easy ways to win the game. Yeehaw, grab your
Yeehaw! Sentiment will return, of that I have no doubt. I'm used to being battered about. I've been in business for years, so I'm used to going through hard times and being battered around and just fucking grinding until things get better. So the community of unity will certainly be back. What else have we got? Diamonds is a fun little dap, not a bad launch. Not a bad answer. Oh, thanks very much. Trees, what's Trees saying? Ali, you do an incredible job, my friend. Thank you. Fundamentally, I think our ecosystem is in a great spot. Not every project is going to be successful, but they've done their fair job to reduce our overall supply. Indeed. And, I've been here from the start. And, been here from the start. And I've dealt with or spoke with most builders that have actually built something in the ecosystem. Accelerate was born during the Titanx bull run last year. Yeah, that's Accelerate, and we helped 4 or 5 different people launch projects. And I never really came, and even all the ones that have been building, we've been on streams together, we've talked together, we've give each other advice. I haven't really seen anybody come in with a really bad intention to do anything wrong. A lot of the builders that built projects were community members who wanted to try to do what they could. Yes, they wanted to make money and extra money and seen an opportunity, but I don't know any builders that fucking made a load of money and fucking got out of the ecosystem with it. Maybe there's 1 or 2 out there, but most people had genuinely good intentions to be part of this community, and unfortunately loads of them are gone. Loads of them have been washed out, just couldn't take it. So I appreciate you saying that. Look, and see even getting an odd little incredible job. Thank you. I really do appreciate that, because the the grind never stops. I'm just here because like I said earlier, I just know if we keep grinding, the market is not going to be down forever. We're going to find an opportunity. We're building the opportunity now, but when things do turn, we are in a fucking wonderful position. I just hope people haven't lost all their money and have nothing left. Utah, thanks for tuning in. And what else have we got? Utah, I'm driving. My spelling isn't great. Voice too great. All right, you're yeah. Don't text and drive. What's up, folks? Sorry, couldn't help out tonight. Worked the moment, unable to get away. Okay, and gone with the wind. Yes, indeed. Many people are gone with the wind, unfortunately, and only smart money left. Smart money and. I think at times, if I was a bit smarter with some of my money, I might not have been here. I might have been off with the wind in a good way. Not still here grinding, but look, I'm really enjoying the focus on Blaze and Diamonds at this minute in time, and looking at our stats and figures, we're doing a pretty good job right now. We'll keep doing all we can to continue that. Let's see, what have we got? Let's play a little video. We'll go for let's do a bit of rocking.
In the mountains of the blockchain, diamond miners fight. Ethereum shouting and shouting through the endless night. Mind the magic, claim your glittering throne.
Thank you, young stunners. We've got a great little library of songs and videos now to throw into the middle of these streams, just to keep the energy alive and give me a break. Give me a break every now and then to think about what I'm going to say next or cover next, because most of these times it's just off the cuff for me. Not a lot of planning, and thinking about what we're going to cover exactly. But we'll have a quick look at Titanx Utils. Let me pull this back up. To the stage. So Titanx Utils, like I say, a lot of this stuff is behind a paid wall. But if you go into tools, if you go on to titanxutils.com and into the tools section, mining simulators and auction simulators. So mining simulators, we'll take a look at that. There is one. I'll take a look at the mining simulator first. So we go down here. We've got some of this you might not see if you don't pay for the membership, but the diamonds one will definitely be there for you to play around with. So if you click on the diamonds, and if you're thinking about investing in the diamonds protocol, you can go and do this. You can go and put this into the DApp and it'll give you some rough figures, but this just breaks it down in a lot more detail. So if you have ETH and you're wanting to put ETH into the system, you can just click in, say, no, people put in the Blaze auction starts off with a 0.02 amount of ETH. That's about $60, something like that, isn't it? That'd be right. So ETH, and you can calculate. I'm going to put. I'll put in. That's 0.02, 0.02 ETH. Calculate miner. Oh, that's actually working it out. Okay, so that's going to by half Blaze, half ETH. Okay, so 0.02. Yes, right. It's about $60. $60. Let me see. And so this is going to show you over here where when you're investing in and putting money in to a miner, it's going to show you over here where the ETH is going. So diamond stockpile, which is the Bayanad, the Bayanad LP, the Diamond Vault, which is the staking, the Diamond Exchange, which is the weekly reward, the weekly auction, and the Genesis, showing how much is going to the Genesis, and it does the same for the Blaze. It shows you where the Blaze is going. Genesis wallet, Diamond Vault, and the 80% of the Blaze going to the protocol stake. Down here, then, price projection. Hold on, actually. Trying to find where it shows you. See, this is why I wanted Jukes on, because I haven't even played around with this myself yet. Total investment, calculate miner, ready to calculate one miner. Bump. Where the fuck is the, okay, yeah, here's it here. On down, so it's showing you 1 ETH in, how many Blaze are going in. Now remember, you put ETH in, it's going to mark it by half of that value. So 0.02 we're putting in, it's obviously taking 0.01 and market ban the Blaze with it. So that's 179 Blaze going in, and that's the factor that gives you how many diamonds you're going to get over the 100 days. So at this minute in time, with the price where it's at right now, you would be looking at putting in $60. You'll be looking at ROI at the end of 100 days. Remember, that's when you earn all your 179 diamonds. If you get the 179, you're going to earn 1.79 per day. So you're going to be waiting 100 days to get your 10x. So you start a miner. If the price doesn't go down too much more, you might be waiting 10 days to get your first 2x. So, and then remember, none of the ban burns have been switched on yet. There's a lot of firepower behind a very, very small liquidity pool. And like I said, we mentioned before, when you look at the ROI and the ban burns, the ban burn doesn't kick in until the ROI is all the way down at 100%. So, that will be changed depending on how the market's going. We don't need to let it go that low if we get some turnaround before that point. in market sentiment and prices of Titanx, prices of diamonds. You know, turn around in the market makes this thing work much better, like anything, for fuck's sake. And then just there, if you've got, say you do have, we're looking at the figures. You know, it costs you a couple of $100 to get 1,000 blaze, maybe $300. Just stick 1,000 blaze in. That means you would get 1,000 diamonds. So you're gonna have to put in 0.05 ETH to get it. Okay, let's calculate that. If you have 1,000 blaze, you have to match it with total ETH investment amount, total blaze. You have to match it with 0.055. Let's calculate that one again. Then you can look and see exactly how much ETH is getting sent to where, how much blaze is getting sent to where, and then we'll go down to the bottom. You can play around with price projections here. I think, you know, start creating a price scenario so you can, you know, I haven't played with this yet. I don't want to start fucking around with it on screen. Let's try. Oh, look, 20x, 10x. So price, what? Now this is showing where the current price is, you see. And where's that? Where did I see that? Add a price point. Add a point. Day 10. Okay, so day 10, contract day 10. Just to see what happens. Say on 50 days into the protocol, the price is back up to $10. I wonder what that's going to do. Yeah, that changes all your nice one, love it. That changes, then you can play around with that, and that's changing what your ROI is going to look like as you run through time. So jumping from a 10x to a 30x there whenever we 3x the price. Now how do okay, let's reset it. Reset all, and we can go back down and see. No, that's not right. Anyway, you get the gist. You need to play around with this. Let's see. Calculate mine. Let's calculate that again. So 1,000 blaze, you've matched it with 0.05 ETH. Total investment is about $300. That's going to cost you $161 for 1,000 blaze, matched with 161. So over 100 days, you're going to earn 1,000 diamonds. And the projection for that, obviously, then at the minute is, like I say, it's almost a 12x at the minute. So that's on the Titanx Itils site. In tools, we also have the auction simulator for diamonds is there. I'm not going to dig into this. I'm not sure if this has all been fully set up or not yet, but we'll dig into it. I think Dukes is going to come on Sunday for our update and go through all this stuff in proper detail then, and teach you ways that you can use this to maybe make better decisions. So let's see. Shrey saying, how's the diamond chart looking? Haven't checked in a minute. It's a strange chart, Shrey. Okay, so what's happening at the minute is there's not a lot of diamonds on the market. Most days when it ticks over past 2 p.m., there is a little bit of an arb opportunity for someone to either recompound in or take a small profit. Now, that might not have been there today, but we've been saying this since the protocol launched. We've been saying on streams it's probably not a good idea to be market buying the diamonds token. Far better off to mine it. Not everybody always listens. But the chart is not dumping hard every day. It's kind of just, dripping down. But it needs to come down. Remember, where's the ROI coming from? The ROI that it shows on the site is coming from your investment. So the price of blaze multiplied by 2, 16, 32 cents is roughly what the price of a diamond to mine is. That's roughly what the price of it is. So with that price them in at $3.70, it's about a 10x over. So it's got to come all the way down to something like 34 cents, and even at 34 cents, you're kind of at a break even. So there's a little bit more a little bit more room for it to come down, but the down is already starting to slow up. And like I say, there's not a lot of supply in people's hands right this minute in time. There's not a lot of reason to claim to dump and sell and get out of the system at this minute in time, which leads me to the next bit there. Good time to mine. I believe, well, not financial advice, but I believe it is when we see where this thing can go, especially turnaround in price of Titanx, price of ETH. We have a very, very small liquidity pool to be able to sustain the price above ROI is not difficult for this protocol at this minute in time. So a lot of people sleeping on it. We think a lot of people sleeping on it. And whenever those goals that happen, you know, what we're talking about, the get X28 to parity, start burning Titanx, get as much blaze off the market as we can, force people to, if they want to participate in diamonds to get their profit, to go in through the auctions. Auctions fills the reward pools for both protocols, and that really then starts the freaking loop of what we're trying to achieve here. Blaze becomes more scarce, auctions fill up, diamonds get used to burn in there, diamonds becomes more scarce, people have a reason to claim their miners and get rid of them early. So yeah, support players is what we need. So Shrey mentioned there, look, any way to see how many miners have been set up to date? Yes, we can. I'll just this is the last thing I'll cover tonight, and we will because it took a minute to load. But into back to the diamonds DApp in the stats page, the analytics. If you click analytics, it takes a while to load up because there's a lot of data getting pulled out into this thing. Let me just make it a little bit bigger. It might take a couple of minutes, or well, not a couple of minutes, but it might take a wee second to load up here. You can see how many boxes here there are. This is all taken from the June dashboard. It's been built by the dev to pull out a lot of the relevant data and stats that you're going to need for playing around in this protocol. I could probably get it up on just on the June website, but it's here, so we may as well have a look at it. So he said, never mind, found it, 97 diamond miners to date. That's not correct. That is how many unique wallets have mined diamonds. I think we're closer to 200 miners started. There might be a stat here. 16. There's only 6. This is what I was mentioning. There's only 16 holders of the token. Only 16 holders of the token. In fact, when you look at this, I don't want to click out of this, but when you go in and look at the stats and the supply, there's we started off with 1,000 diamonds in the LP, and I think we're only getting back up to 1,000 now. We went up to 1,000, but 1,000 have been burnt, so we're kind of still sitting around that 1,000 number, and most of it is in the LP. The 16 holders of diamonds are holding very, very little. Only 5 people have threw diamonds into the staking protocol, the staking part. We have 61 people that have got NFTs. Total NFT from mints, that was minting NFTs, 23 ETH in. Total ETH, that's not including Blaze, but 15 ETH in for miners, 237,000 Blaze in for miners. What's this? Rewards. There's 3 ETH sitting in the diamonds, or 3 ETH. I think most of that was claimed last week. So there's 1.83 ETH in the staking pools already. Total diamonds. So that's how many blazes in the staking pools. I want to go down here and see. Okay, so maybe this is kind of probably what you're looking for now, Shrey, is the miners. So day 1, day 2, it was actually more done in day 2. Mined daily. What are we on now? That's a good fucking question. So day 10, we're on day 10. We've had 100k mined today. Now that's at the end of the 100 days. So this is going to be protocol day 110 when this 100k that was mined today becomes fully matured. So you can see the first 2 days what's the number there? You know, we'll call that 75, 80K there, 80K at full maturity. Day one, another 100. Day two, dropped off a cliff for 3, 4, 5, 10, or 9, and then 10. We've had a nice little spike today of miners coming in, 100K's worth. Future unlocks. So this is going to be day 100. February 19th is going to be day 100. Or would it be day 101? Day 101 and kicks over from the 100th day into day 101. There will be just over 50K hitting the market. So look, if there's not going to be a lot, they've got to wait 100 days for this amount of supply. It's freaking, you know, there's not going to be any mad spike of this stuff coming out, flooding onto the market. And if the ban burn kicks in and we make it, give it a little bit of incentive for people to early claim and early claim and forfeit supply, you know, we can reduce the number coming out in the future quite easily. Titanx runs before ETH and does a 2-3x over ETH in a short period of time. This protocol will be in an extremely strong position. What else have we got there? Okay, diamonds minted and forfeited. Okay, so day 7 was the last day to get into the auction for the first auction. So we seen, look, we had what do we have even that day? We were looking at the mine supply there, and for one auction day took over 10K off the future supply. So there was 10, that's probably closer to 15K was forfeited on day 7. So there was 15K future supply forfeited on day 7, and the liquid supply is only 1,000 tokens. That's after a week of inflation. That's a fucking cool metric right there. So unique forfeiters, we had 4, 5, 6 protocol day 2, 4 people forfeited in day 7, 8. Okay, so 2, and then 1 person forfeited today. Be interesting to see what they did. And then look, the stats, all the other stats are there about what staking, future staking unlocks, all that kind of stuff. So absolutely whopping DApp Rich has pulled together here, you know, for all the moving parts and having data and detail for everyone participating. Freaking phenomenal job. Phenomenal, if I do say so myself.
Diamond's protocol just crystallized the hardest on-chain crush-proof vaults, liquid rivers, staked forever. No dust, no drama, pure permanence. Next Tesla rolling off Gigafactory, Texas. With Diamond Hands OS, it's going to be so sick you won't even believe it. With an unbreakable engine, fueled by the Blaze Grey Flame, every mission etched in crystal clarity. We're not building the future. We're making it unbreakable. Diamonds are forever. Whether you like it or not, pimp.
Elon loves it. Trump loves it. Kim loves it. Putin loves it. I love it. You love it. Diamonds are for everyone and forever, apparently. I know there's some quality ones. I'll play another one and then we'll get into the wee outro here. We'll get into the quick wrap up. I'll play another one here. This is kind of some funny shit here.
So Diamond Vault is staking. Diamond Crusher is the buy and burn. Diamond Certificate Stores, NFTs. Diamond Exchange is an auction. Diamonds, this is the stats, it's a billboard. And this is your diamond mine, where you go to mine diamonds.
Oh, it's not like you have to go and do some Blaze and do some ETH. You don't have to do that. Either way, if you have the Blaze and you got some ETH in your wallet, it automatically does everything for you as long as you have that ETH in that wallet and do it in one transaction. It's real nice.
It's real nice. Utah. Great fucking job, young stunners. Brilliant work. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up now. rough market out there. Nobody's having much fun. I'm having a bit of crack here, and you know, hold the line, as Utah says. You know, don't get washed out. If you've stuck it here this long, I think you know, getting washed out now. If you need to sell some to save some sanity, to not lose all your money, go ahead and fucking do it. But yeah, maybe that would be the worst thing you can do, or the best. Who knows? Stick to your plan. Don't get chopped up. Everybody getting chopped up trying to make decisions of what's right and what's wrong. If you had a plan, stick to it. That is not financial advice, but that's what I'm doing. Richard Hart inspired diamond sack for Prevax. Next diamond. How big is your diamond? Young Stunner edition. Ah, nice. Freaking sacrifices. More sacrifices. No. I even see there's a coin. B Roots is back on a coin, that a tax token that uses a tax funds. The tax charges to sacrifice for Prevax. I was really hoping people wouldn't give it attention, but yeah, it is what it is. So look, as Utah says, folks, hold the line. We'll be back on Sunday night. Duke's coming on Sunday evening. We're going to dig in a bit more detail in the Titanx Itils, and there may, I wonder actually, maybe Utah and Rich are doing a community stream on Saturday night. Titanx community stream, the community of unity that nobody turns up to except the Blaze team. So on that note, we'll see you all again soon. Thanks everybody that tuned in. Diamonds and Blaze are fucking blazing. Keep her lit.
Look, folks, this is huge. We start going to put tariffs, big tariffs on ETH. We're going to make people buy diamonds. Diamonds, the best, the classiest. It's all about the diamonds now, more valuable, more powerful. Everyone sits talking about it. We're making buying and crushing, buying and burning great again, folks. Really great. November 11th is coming. It's a whole new game, folks, a winning game, the biggest. Believe me.
Diamonds will be very scarce in the market. Blaze is already pretty scarce on the market. So we're hoping for fireworks between the two.